There's something going on down at Sulky Sullivan's way, and it's not good. It's actually quite concerning. Zoe took to TikTok the other day to explain to us just exactly the harassment and the situation that's going on down there. We're going to have a look through that today because it's quite serious, you know, all jokes aside. But there's one or two things I would like to point out to our lovely Zoe because she doesn't quite get it yet.
Good afternoon, guys. What's going on with my hair there? So we got a card this morning. I say we got a card. Charlotte got a card.
Charlotte would be the 17-year-old adult, depending on which influencer you talk to. Chris Ingham would say adult, obviously. But Charlotte is the 17-year-old that they're referring to in this instance.
This morning. Now, we've never actually given our address out online.
Good. That's a good thing. You've never given your address online. Yeah, obviously, don't be giving your address to strangers. That's a bad thing. There's numerous things that you have done along those lines, obviously. Your address is, in fact, online. I don't know if you know that because, you know, I don't know if you deal with the business side of things.
Now, a lot of people will say, or some people will say, it's obvious where you live. So it's obvious where we live if you are from here and you know where we live, as it would be, you know, to anybody who lived in the area that somebody online or somebody famous, or I'm not calling myself famous there. I'm just saying, you know, when people live in houses and people that live around them, or if you come from the area, it's obvious.
That's very true, Zoe. A very good point, well made. I would have to say, and all credit to anybody that actually lives in your vicinity, that I've never heard from anybody that has told me personally your address, right? And I've never heard from anybody that lives near you that has actually put your address out there. So, you know, people are quite genuine.
It's not obvious any other way.
Really? Are you sure? Are you actually certain about that, Zoe? Because I've never known a family vlogging channel to actively put out their location as much as you, right? No other family does it like you do. Every other family, as much as I don't like them in terms of the family vlogging and everything, they at least do not tell you where they live, their location. I mean, yeah, people find these things out, but they don't really go around telling you exactly where they live. You do.
So people say it's obvious because they actually search where we live. So they search the area because, yes, we have said the area that we live in, but not our actual address.
Zoe, your location, right, the area you live in, you've given it right down to the very town that you live in, and it's a very small area. Very, very small. And you have a huge family. Do you know what anybody that needed or wanted to find you, right? People with bad intentions, all they would have to do is go to the town where you live, and you've told us where you live, right? And look for somebody traipsing a million kids around, right? And then follow you home. That's all they'd have to do. I can't imagine it would be much more difficult than that.
So they search the area, they go on Google Maps, they go on Google Earth.
Not that I want to stick up for anybody here, but you know when people are famous, like celebrities, again, Zoe, I'm agreeing with you, you're not famous, right? But when people are following famous people and celebrities, they do tend to get curious where you live, right? And if they can find your address, they will. And I'm sure that celebrities have been through the exact same thing. It's just this new age of YouTuber influencer who do not and have not come equipped to be in the public eye. Celebrities, traditional celebrities have been through this for so many years, and they get security people and they get media trained and they get all sorts in order to know what to expect from the public and to protect themselves. Whereas people like Zoe just think, right, let's vlog my family, we'll tell them where we live and expect nothing to happen to us.
They look for all the bits and pieces, the obvious bits around and about, and they try and work out where it is that we live.
I'm not being funny, Zoe, but it's not difficult, and it wasn't difficult. Do you know how long it took me to find out where you live, right? After you moved in, it was not a long time, right? It was really, really quick. And I didn't have any intention of putting it out there. I just did it out of curiosity and really to see how easy it was to find. Because if I can find it, then other people who have bad intentions can find it. And that's the point I'm trying to make here, Zoe. Right? I've never put your address out there. I haven't even revealed the location where you live, the town you live in, even though you yourselves have put it out so many times. It is not difficult, right? And I've never revealed it, and I'm trying my best not to do so, even though it really doesn't matter at this point.
So for a start, this is like Tattle Level now. This is the sort of thing that people on there do, and then when they find that out, they share it amongst themselves.
Okay, so again, Zoe, I think that's quite a claim from you. And I think it's not backed up by any actual evidence, because saying that it's Tattle Level and they would share it amongst everybody. I've never seen your address posted online. Genuinely, I've never seen anybody post it online. And as much as you dislike Tattle, right, I genuinely don't see Tattle actually posting your address on the website. I don't see it happening, because it would be removed, by the way. I know Tattle can be a little under moderated sometimes, but stuff like addresses and stuff like that, they do tend to get removed, and I don't see Tattle doing that. It's just people will find your address because you put the information out there yourself.
That's called doxing, by the way, and it's illegal. So
no, Zoe, no, it's not, in actual fact. Also, there's a bit of a grey area, I feel, when it comes to doxing, right? Because if your information is publicly available, as yours is, because you are or were a registered business and you registered your business as your home address, that's where the crossover lies, and it kind of like it's available online and you yourself put it available online.
We do get letters from time to time, obviously for people that we've given, family, friends that we've given our address to, that's fine. But
that's a bit of an odd thing to say, Zoe. We get letters from time to time from family and friends. Well, yes, so do I, actually, as it happens. So do most people watching this. What's your point? Or are you classing your fans as your friends? Because that would be weird.
we get the odd unwanted letter. Some of them have been quite vile, actually. And we have been to the police with them as well. We have them all on file, just in case, you know.
And you should take it to the police, Zoe. Absolutely. Protect your kids. Protect your family. Absolutely do that. You know what you should also do, Zoe? You should probably take the fact that people are sending you horrible mail as a wake-up call, shall we say. A wake-up call. That's right. If ever there was an inkling that what you're doing is not is not protecting your children. This is it, you know. People have found your address. People are sending you horrible mail, and now they're sending mail to your children. That in itself should be enough of a clue upstairs to say maybe we shouldn't be vlogging our children, and maybe we should be putting their privacy first and their safety first. Or does that still not stop you?
So if you are the type of person that needs to find out where people live, which is a very strange thing. I follow lots of people online, and I have never once thought to myself, I'm going to Google map where they live.
You're clearly not a fangirl then, are you, Zoe? Not a fangirl. Because let me tell you, right, it's not just the haters you've got to worry about in this situation. It is the fans, for one thing, right? I know some family vloggers who I won't mention here, but they have in the past had such a big following that people would actually look up where the Inghams live. Sorry, I'm actually stupid, aren't I? I am stupid. People would actually look up where for fuck's sake. People would actually look up where they live because they're fans and they want to know where they live and actually come to the door. According to Sarah Ingham, in actual fact, right, one time a fan came to their door and gave Isabel a gift, an actual gift. Came to the front door, yeah, an actual fan. And that was a fan, not a hater. So this is why, you know, if you are to believe Sarah Ingham, obviously, that it's a bad idea to allow people access to your children, because it's not just the haters that you're going to worry about. It's fans of the channel. You don't want people turning up at your door. You know, there's numerous stories about fans who turn up at doors of celebrities. They're fans, even. They're not haters, but you're classing everybody who wants to know where their idols live as, you know, as weird.
I've never once thought to myself to do that, because that is really weird. But why would you, do you know what I mean? I see their house, I see maybe the area that they live in, but I would never once think to myself, I'm going to find out all the information I can, put it all together, and find out exactly what their address is.
Really? You do realise, Zoe, that your husband is the main culprit here, and he is very lax in safety of where you live. He is forever telling everybody everything that they need to know. It's not something that they have to go looking for, because do you know when you moved into your house, right? Do you remember when you moved and you moved into that new house? Fresh start, possibly. You know, your old house was all over the internet, and everybody knew where you lived. You moved into your new house. There was an opportunity there, briefly, to keep that private. But do you know how long it took before you released that information?
In the morning, and we've just signed the agreement for the rental on this house here in bed, which is literally just down the road from. It's only like a 5-10 minute drive from Lough down the coast.
1 minute 17 seconds it took after you got the keys to your new house. That's how long it took to tell us where you lived. And then that's not forgetting this, where you have filmed your actual street name. Well, maybe you're thinking, well, so you've got the town name, you've got the street name. It could be any house along that street, couldn't it?
That light just doesn't work. Does not work at all. It's busted. And on top of that, I don't know, darling. I think they might have just got old.
Not when you're filming the door number to your house on a frequent basis. This is, by the way, Ben, this isn't just off, one vlog. This is regularly you're filming this. And then you're crying about the privacy of your kids. Well, when you're filming things like this where you are pointing out where your child goes to school, she doesn't go there now, obviously, but when she did go there, you're pointing it out, and that's going to be a little bit on the dangerous side, I would have thought.
This is what Joseph wanted to come and see this afternoon. He wanted to come and see the demolition of the old school. I can't believe how much has gone, actually, because there's only been a couple of diggers here the last couple of weeks, or last few weeks, couple of months, whatever. But they've really cracked on these last couple of weeks. So this is all the old school, like I showed you before. And then just behind over there is the new school. You see the white building just over there? That's the new high school.
Obviously, it just seems like a very strange thing for me to do. Or for anybody to do. But some people believe that they have the right to do this. And I'm sure if you look in enough details, there are details that can tell you where people live. Quite easily for anybody, really, to be honest. You've got the electoral roll for a start, but a lot of these services you have to pay for. Again, weird.
No, Zoe, your address is available for free on Company's House. For free. That's right. Because you're a business and you registered your family as a business, right? Your kids and everything. Of course, they're just a business asset, obviously. But yeah, you did that. You put it available for free online. Most people would put, I don't know, they might not use their home address as a business address. But also, it's not weird to want to know where a business does business, right? People look up a register of businesses every single day, and there's a reason why it's public. It's transparent, and so people know who they're doing business with. And you are a business, remember, Zoe?
It never occurs to me to do these things, so I find that strange. But anyway.
And there lies your problem, Zoe. You don't occur to do those sort of things, so you find it strange, right? Which is fine. You wouldn't look up a business online. That's fine. You wouldn't do that, so you find it strange. You know what you also probably wouldn't do, right? Is look up on the dark web for family vlogger kids, right? You probably don't do that. I'm assuming you don't anyway. Therefore, you think that is strange and you don't think it's a thing, right? The problem is, Zoe, that it is a thing and you have to think outside the box. Much in the same way, you must think, our address is online. People who don't like us and fans and predators are going to look up our address to get at our kids, right? That's a thing. And in that same vein, you got to think our kids are in the state of undress on our channel and predators are out there looking at them, right? You wouldn't necessarily do that to another channel, right? But it doesn't mean to say that other people aren't doing it to yours. And you got to think about that. Life lesson.
So, Charlotte's been sent this card from somebody to basically say that this person, a woman in her 60s, normally is.
These are sweeping statements, Zoe. Most trolls are women in their 60s, right, okay, but you class me as a troll. I'm not a woman in my 60s, right? You class Perry as a troll. He's definitely not a woman in his 60s either. There are many people who don't like you, and they're not just over the age of 60, and they're not all women, right? People of all walks of life tend to not like you either. For varying reasons. I don't like you because you've vlogged the shit out of your kids, and that's wrong, clearly.
That's probably my most trolls, to be honest, that age. Obviously very bored and need to go on Tattle quite a lot.
But it's ironic though, isn't it? Because over the age of 60, she claims, is the the age of most trolls. But then again, I'd say most of your fans are grandmothers over the age of 60. And they're bored because they're living their life vicariously through your kids.
So yeah, that she's upset after she's followed us that we never mention her, don't mention Charlotte or Eva very much. Now, has it ever occurred to you that we don't mention them very much because they might not want to be mentioned? So everything that we do online, we run by our kids. And if for any reason they don't want to be mentioned, we don't mention them. We ask things, would they mind us sharing certain things? Or do they not want us sharing certain things? That's fine.
Oh, I'm going to get a bit angry. It does annoy me, this narrative. Oh, we run everything by our kids. If they don't want to be filmed, we're not going to film them. They tell us if they don't want to be filmed, we won't film them. If they don't want to be mentioned, we won't mention them. But the little kids, they don't get the option. And then these will turn around and say, well, we do ask the children if they want to be filmed. Yeah, but do you explain to them the dangers of being filmed? Do you explain that to them so that they understand? How old's your youngest? 3, is she, Flo? Does she understand? All right, this is a bit of an odd question. You might say weird, Zoe, all right? But does your 3-year-old understand that everything that she ever says and does online will stay online forever? Does she know how long forever is at that age? Does she understand the concept of 7,000 to 10,000 people watching her every move every day? Does she understand that? Does she understand how predators online are watching her and looking at her and yes, maybe even taking those images and doing things with them? Does she understand those concepts? Have you explained in full detail so she understands fully? I'd have loved to have seen that conversation, Zoe. You're an absolute moron.
You know, the older girls and boys have their own lives. They have their own interests. They have things going on. We also don't mention Elizabeth very much, but that didn't seem to seemed to just pass you by. But obviously, the agenda on Tattle is that we don't like some of our children, and you've obviously picked up on this. So you've sent my child a card, basically saying this.
Just to clarify, I do not agree with this person sending the card to her child, right? I think that's wrong on every single level, right? Whether or not it's a hater or a fan or a predator even, it's wrong, right? I think Zoe needs to understand that this is a problem and it's a safeguarding issue for all her kids, right? It just is. And it should make her think twice about what she does, except it won't.
You've sent my child an actual card saying that she should leave my house, right? Now, recently Charlotte won an award at school, basically a DYW award, which is Developing the Young Workforce award, because she did an apprenticeship, or she did work experience. She's doing hairdressing, she did work experience, and she managed to get a job out of it, all off her own back. Yeah.
Congratulations, I guess. I just to expand upon my point about privacy, Zoe, I didn't know any of that, right? I don't know if you've mentioned that on your vlogs. I assume probably you have, but I didn't know any of that information until you just told me. So thank you. And yeah, congratulations, I guess.
Yeah, she did that through college and school. They have like a day release thing that you can go. That sounds like prison. You can go into college on a Wednesday, do it with trades. Noah's doing it next year. And she did really well at a course. She got a like an apprenticeship, I suppose, really. sort of thing. But she ends up getting a job out of it. She now works at a salon, incidentally, which somebody tried to get her in trouble for as well. So this is another reason we don't always mention stuff, because people try and phone up people, even my kids' work, and get them into trouble for nothing. So yeah, some things we do keep out, not because we don't like them, but because we think it's necessary, because there's crazy people like you around. So anyway, she sent her this card with much love, well done. And then she would go on to the letter. It says, "Dear Charlotte, I am an ordinary lady living in England in my 60s, and I have 3 grandchildren. I have followed the Sullivan family for around 2 years. Something that upsets me is how you and Eva are hardly ever mentioned." Now, Eva has things going on as well at the moment, things that I'm not going to discuss, which is why we don't talk. She doesn't want to be on camera. Absolutely fine. I wanted to send you this card to say congratulations on how far you have come after having overcome so many battles, because obviously Charlotte's had some issues in the past as well, which she's worked through.
Fuck's sake, Zoe. Are you actually taking the piss right now? Are you taking the piss? Do you not see what's going on in this letter? Right? I know exactly what's I'm gonna give my point of view after it. But fucking right, yeah, Charlotte had some issues, right? Which you plastered all over social media, which was absolutely disgusting at the time. It was disgusting, and the fact that everybody who watches your channel knows about it is disgusting. And that was your fault. Solely your fault. So don't blame it on anybody else for knowing this information, because it is you.
She's gone back to school, her choice, gone on, done her exams, going on to do hairdressing. Brilliant. We're very proud of all of our kids. I've always said that. Stay as you are, independent and focused. You don't even know my daughter.
Wow. Oh, I'm speechless. You don't know. You don't know the kids. We vlogged the kids, but you don't know them. We may show them, but you don't know them. You may know that they had X, Y, and Z issues, but you do not know my children. It's like, this person's coming across like a fan, right? And because you have put all this information out about your children, and then when people talk about it, you have an issue with it. Look at yourself, Zoe.
You don't even know her, yeah? Please, please, please leave the house and make your own way in the world as soon as you can. How dare you tell my child what to do?
How very dare you. Do not tell my child what to do. By the way, yeah, I kind of agree. Don't be telling a 17-year-old to be leaving home as soon as possible. It's a little bit, yeah, weird.
You are you, not part of a money-making machine. So in one hand, you're saying that I don't mention them. Yeah, this is where you people on Tattle and all that, you all contradict yourselves. Because on one hand, you're saying that I don't mention them, so therefore I must hate them. And on the other hand, you're telling them they're not part of a money-making machine. If I want to share my life online, I will do.
Right, that's your choice. You can share your life online if you want to, right? Your life. Not child number 1's life, not child number 2's life, or child number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Not their lives either, right? Just your life. Only your life. I'm glad we've had this chance to have this talk, Zoe. It's just your life that you're going to show from now on, is it?
Yeah, we do it as part of a family. We share what we want to share, but we also run it past all of our children.
You share what you want to share. You do it as part of a family. But you just said if you want to share your life, you can. That's you. You. But when you come down to and switch it around and say, we do it as part of a family, you can't have a we when it's a you, right? It's you that's making the money out of your children by filming your children. It does not matter whether you ask their permission. It doesn't friggin' matter unless they can consent to an informed degree. And I know that you're not stupid, Zoe. You're not stupid. You're not Ben. I know you understand things, right? Unless you don't, which means get off the friggin' internet. I hate people on the internet who don't understand things. It friggin' frustrates me. Seriously, it's you, right? You can make an informed decision because you understand the ramifications of being online. Fortunately, nobody's looking for you in skimpy swimwear to put on the dark web, right? Nobody needs that on their conscience. But they are looking for your little twins to put them on the dark web. They are looking for little Agnes or little Flo. They're doing those things. And even bloody Toby and all the others, right? But you don't ask the older ones if they want to be online, or, you know, the older ones know that they don't want to be online because they've had their hate from the school. There's their friends and their enemies and their frenemies and all that. They've had that experience of being hated because they've been online. The little twins, the little kids, none of them have any experience of what all this means. And you cannot tell me otherwise because you know it's not true.
If they don't want us to share things, we don't share them, which is why we don't always mention things that are going on. So you have contradicted yourself completely in that letter, to be honest. So on one hand, you say we don't mention them. And on the other hand, you're saying they not to be part of the money-making machine. But you wanted me to mention them a minute ago because you haven't heard enough about them. The other obviously narrative is that I don't like the little twins as well. That gets bandied around on Tattle all the time. All of this information is utter rubbish.
I have no opinion on that particular narrative at all, right? All I will say is that you do tend to talk about the older kids more than the younger kids. You do tend to hang out with the older kids and not the younger kids. Obviously, we don't see all your day, so maybe you do spend the rest of the day hanging out with the younger kids, and maybe you do take them for walks, and maybe you do play football with them, maybe you do play games with them. I don't know. I don't see your day, right? I just don't know.
If you know me, you know that anyway. I don't need to defend myself because I know it's all crap. But what I will say is don't ever send my children anything, ever. Number one, you shouldn't have my address. I'll be keeping this, by the way. I'll be keeping this in my file with all the other ones that get sent, the nasty ones.
So my view on this person who sent the letter, right, it doesn't sound that nasty, if I'm being honest with you. It doesn't sound a horrible letter. Yes, I don't think that they should have sent a letter to a 17-year-old child. I think that's weird, very weird in actual fact, much less encouraging them to leave home as soon as possible. That's very weird, shouldn't be done. I do think, right, if you are right, because this might not be right, I've got in my head now that it's a 60-year-old woman. It might not be. But if it's an older lady who is just following you, maybe they don't understand the boundaries. That is possible, right? Because if you look around your comment section every day, that it's full of elderly ladies who don't understand the boundaries between themselves and your children, right? So it could possibly be, because you have no problem. In actual fact, I've seen loads of comments on your vlogs where people are talking to your children and saying how much they love your children. They, you know, Agnes, you're amazing. Happy birthday, Flo. Love from whatever. You know, people are very, very weird on the internet, you know, even the fans, and yet you don't have a problem with them saying stuff like that, even though that is creepy too. Now, I don't think this person should have sent the letter, absolutely not, and it's also very difficult to tell whether or not it's a troll or just a lonely old lady, right? Don't know.
Yeah, I'm not talking about nice people that have our address, and I'm talking about friends and family.
So, friends and family can write to your children. Is that what you're saying? I'm a bit confused about that. Is this like fans of your channel? They're allowed to write to your children and say how much they love you and how much they love your kids and things like that. Is that okay? Because that's the kind of message that I'm getting here. Haters not allowed. Lovers, absolutely.
I'm talking about all the people that have got my address from an illegal source.
An illegal source? An illegal source? You mean Company's House? That illegal source? Oh, god damn them! You know, I'll bung them a message next time I'm messaging them, and I'll let them know that they're doing illegal stuff, and the Sullivans are not happy. The Sullivans are going to take them to court over their illegalness. Plus, also, you put it out on your vlogs. I'm sorry, you can't claim that it's done illegally, and then what you've actually exposed yourself on the vlogs. You know.
And sent my child something in the post. Yeah, I'll be keeping hold of that. You have no right to send anything to my home. You definitely have no right to send something to my children.
Yeah. I'm gonna okay, Zoe, I have a question for you, right? So I had to think then a second because some things are coming to my mind. I have a question. If you had a PO box, right, would you accept mail to your children then? Would you accept that people can write to you? Because I've seen people asking for PO boxes and you have said we're looking into it and things like that. So would you accept mail from fans to your children? Because the Inghams have previously had mail, like fan mail, from fans to their children. Not to the adults, to their children. All sorts of weird shit sent. I said, I can't. Now people know, for fuck's sake. Can't. I've done some weird fucked up shit. No, it's not fucked up. I was doing it for the benefit of everybody, right? They wouldn't buy themselves a baby gate for their stairs. They wouldn't do it. Right, the baby walking up and down the stairs all the time, and they wouldn't buy them. So I bought them a baby gate. All right, I bought the Inghams a baby gate. Okay, this was a few years ago. I vlogged about it. I was showing it, so it's not a secret. They still didn't put it on though. They still didn't put it up. God damn it! That cost me money. That did. But they did use my little corner things. I also bought them some corner things for the table. You know, the table where the child can easily hit their head on the corner of the table. I bought them little rubber corner things to put on the table, and they did use them. They did use them. I thought that was great. I thought that was fantastic. Sorry. But yes, do not send things to people's houses. You know, I can't turn back the clock.
I don't know what's wrong with you people, to be honest. I honestly don't know what's wrong with you people. I mean, you obviously follow this narrative that there is without finding out information for yourself. That's fine, you know, whatever. It's weird, but, you know, it's come to light that it's the same thing across the board on Tattle, that things are just made up. I mean, literally, just made up. I could say that I'd just seen Superman across the road. Did you? It's literally made up because of these people that don't have anything going on in their lives, so they have to kind of make up this crap.
To be fair, not everything on Tattle is made up, right? Okay, so when people talk about you using your children for money and things like that, that's not made up, because that does actually happen. We see it every day. You're on the vlogs and you do it every day, right? When it comes to the Inghams, right, people talk about Chris and his ways with the children, not his own children, but other people's children, and that's not made up either. that was proven. So that, you know, those narratives, they're completely true.
Amongst each other all the time. It's very strange. But finding out people's addresses and sending them mail and sending their children mail, basically slagging us off and telling her that she should go and get her own life. How dare you? You have no idea. I don't share a lot of what goes on with the older children because, you know, teenagers are teenagers. It can be complex. How dare you? Yeah, you have children and you have grandchildren. I hope to God, yeah, that you don't act like that around them and that they don't find out that you do these sorts of things, because quite frankly, that would worry me quite a lot. But it's not going to stop me doing what I do.
Wouldn't expect anything else. Would not expect anything else, Zoe. It's not going to stop you exposing your children and putting them at risk every day because some random sent mail to your house. It's not going to stop you, is it? No, absolutely not.
Number 3. Well, I'm still thinking. If you're so sure on what you're writing to people, why are you anonymous? This is the thing about all of you people on Tattle and hate sites and writing anonymous letters, making anonymous accusations, all that sort of stuff. If you're so sure on what you're saying, why are you anonymous?
Because, Zoe, not everybody likes to put their life online. That's why. Now, I am very sure about what I say, and I will say it under my own name. So, for those that are listening at the back that have reached the end of this video, thank you all so much. My name is not Dougal. It might come as a shock to... Actually, it came as a shock to some people, actually, that I didn't realise people didn't think that. Yeah, my name's not Dougal at all. Zoe knows anyway. Zoe knows what my name is. My name is Greg. That's right, Greg. And there you go. I henceforth, under my own name, will tell people that Zoe Sullivan and Ben Sullivan use their children for money. Without their children in their vlogs, nobody else would watch their vlogs. Maybe they will get 1 or 2 people, but not a few thousand. They would not have made any sort of headway on their channel whatsoever if it was just them from the outset. It wouldn't have taken off whatsoever. They also use their children to, they expose their children to possible predators online. They use their children's privacy and they endanger their children every day. Those things are absolutely true, and I will stand by those, Zoe, under my own name. Thank you very much, and good night.
Just own it. Own it if you're so sure. You know, you have 3 grandchildren. I would think that maybe you are some kind of influence on them. Not a very good one. If you're going to believe things that you read about people that aren't true. Anyway, lastly, also, if things were so bad and you think that Charlotte should leave, do you not think that she would have done? She's 17. Do you not think that if it was that awful that she would have left? I'll tell you why she hasn't. Because she doesn't need to. Just because we don't discuss things, like I've said, doesn't always mean that they're not, you know, this little thing that you've all made up in your heads. Anyway, like I said, have a nice day.
Have a nice day indeed. I will have a nice day, Zoe. It's beautiful outside. I might even pop my head out the door, you know. My agoraphobic head. I might have a little look outside just to catch a few rays. Innit? Some of that was quite special. I'm not going to lie, right? I'll start off by saying that absolutely yes. Zoe is right. that person shouldn't have sent the card or the letter. Shouldn't have said what she said in the letter. Absolutely not. I agree with Zoe on this occasion, right? You should never do that because it's only a child. She's 17 and you shouldn't be trying to influence her over her mother anyway at that point, or at any point really. But also she's just a child and it has clearly upset her, and that's not the goal of any of this, right? I'm sure me talking about this, if she watched it, it would upset her too, so I apologise. But I need to talk about it because, you know, Zoe's talking about it, so I need to talk about it. But, having said all that, you have put all that stuff out there about your child online, Zoe. It's been you, nobody else. You have done that. And moreover, you have revealed your location. Almost every vlog, you even put it in the title of your videos, the vlog, whereabouts you live. So you can't say, why do people know where we live? Because it's you. And I've told you time and time and time again that you should not do that, right? So many times I've said don't do that, and yet you continuously done it, and yet you never listen to me, and this is the reason why you don't do that. All right, you've put it out there. It's also on available free public records, and you did that. Right, so you can blame everyone but yourself, but at the end of the day, the buck stops with you. If you had never even mentioned Charlotte in a vlog ever, right, this person wouldn't even know that Charlotte existed. How does she know that Charlotte is an actual person without you actually talking about her and showing her in vlogs and talking about all her struggles and talking about everything to do with her? It's none of anybody's business, just the same as it's none of our business what the younger kids get up to every day. It's not our business. It's not even your fans' business, right? None of that. Anyway, let me know what you think about this situation in the comments down below. Has any of those points that Zoe made provoked you into thought? Or anything that I've said also provoked you into thought? Let me know in the comments down below. Until next time, subscribe to the channel if you are brand new, and I'll bring you more and more Sullivan videos on the way. Thank you all so much. Have a lovely day. Take care and bye-bye.